Hey everybody, Toaster here. I just wanted to show everybody a game that Combat Ineffective had in his M46. Let's go ahead and get it started. We've talked about this map a lot and that the south side of the map is the more important side. We also have the advantage on this side of the map, so a lot of times the enemy will not come this way. And it turns out to be a pretty good game, and we'll talk about what his thought processes are. Of course, we've got our Sheridan's going middle, which is actually very good, but he overcommits a little bit, and so in overcommitting, he takes some damage right away, which is kind of sad. I want to say that he dies. I didn't really pay attention during the replay, but anyway. So we're very light on help on this side, but we do have a Conqueror, which does give me some confidence. And I'm still just trying to get shots and just take a blind shot on that Scorpion. So we get lit. That's not a big deal. This thing has a pretty good turret against tier 9s, and so I'm not too worried about tier 9s. There is a T95 on this side, and I would not be confident that I could you'd bounce a shot from that in my M46, and he plays it pretty well, and we'll show you how. So he's lit. I don't know what's lighting him, but that Object 430 is really aggressive, and he's going for a shot on the Centurion. No, nothing doing, and he sees that there's several guys over here. That was a little low, but on the move. This thing does fire on the move well, so I've talked about that before. So try and get a shot and just back that Centurion off, and I'm noticing that it's 3v1. Well, it was 3v1, and so I don't want this object to get overrun, and we're able to track the Pantera, which spells his demise. So our 430's down to 59% health, so I want to kind of protect him, because if he's dies, I'm screwed, right? So put a shot into the side of the T-54. That object does a very good job of, I mean, he tracks the guy up in the air, so he does a pretty good job. So I know that he probably is thinking, well, the T-95's not looking at me, I can shoot. And here again, he comes way over and that should have penned probably, but he comes way over knowing that the T-95 has a very long reload. If he doesn't, the worst case scenario is he takes 400 damage. So I think that was a smart play. But it looks like the T-95 has the big gun. So he's just waiting patiently. There's really nothing, you don't need to get too crazy. And as soon as he sees an opportunity to fire on that T-95, he does. A lot of people would be tempted to come over and shoot at the Centurion and eat a shot from the T-95, but he plays it very safe here and very intelligently. So sorry about that. I got somebody on TeamSpeak here. So yeah, just going for cupola shots, which is what he should be doing. And you can see he's taking his time aiming those because he's not being aimed at, and he goes ahead and gets a good shot, and it looks like the T-95 did fire, and the T-95 does have the small gun. It looks like, I'm just noticing that. I think that's the small gun. It sure looks like the T-28 gun to me. But nevertheless, he plays it safe, conserves his hit points. He's full health right now, and we've won this side. Now the mouse goes for cap, which I feel like is a bad idea, especially when you have a JPE and IS-7 and a Conqueror. I mean, to me, it just seems like a bad idea. So those Conquerors are amazing if they stay hull down. So that's something to think about. But you notice on the mini map, I should have stopped it, but the JPE and the IS-7 were very obviously turned around and headed back towards their cap, which is the right thing to do. And but it allows combat to go through this middle section and try and get side and rear shots, because with 218 pen, or even 265, I think it is with the gold rounds, you're going to struggle to pen an IS-7. It's just not easy, and a JPE is the sort of the same story. Even the T10, you're going to notice with gold rounds, is a challenge because this gun is not very accurate, not for a tier 9. So he's able to put a side shot into the turret, which is great, and he's trying to line up another shot. So one thing about this position is he's a little bit exposed, but at the same time, if he does get lit, he's and he switches targets because he's got the rear of the IS-7, which is a more important target, one, and a much easier pen, two. So even if he gets lit, which he does here, he's in a position behind the enemy, and so they're likely not to be turned towards him. So the JPE is turned towards him now, and he's able to put a tracking shot in. I'm sure he was trying to pin that, but that was a really tough pin for him. And he's able to hit the pike nose there, and suddenly you can tell what's spotting him. So he picks up the kill. And a little bit of lack of map awareness there, but those guys, I don't know what's with their view range, but anyway, they don't have much view range. So he is all alone. You notice he's got no support, and so he's backing off a little bit, and he's shooting this AMX-65T, and now he's switching back to standard rounds because that thing has crap armor for a heavy, and he's able to put another shot in. So he's up to 3,700 damage, which is fantastic. Bounces another shot, and he's able to get the kill shot on the AMX-65T. So he's also getting some spotting. He got 700 spotting through that. So there's just one tank left, and he's on 4,000 damage. So I'm sure that he's thinking, well, let's at least go for it a little bit. So you notice he's keeping this building between himself and the enemy, and picking up another 400 assist. Now he feels like he tracks the enemy, and he feels like I can go in and I can take the hit. So he hits the track again, but it looks like the guy repairs, and now it's just circling. And he's looking for the track shot, but he doesn't quite get it, which is okay. But he's just making this guy look foolish. So he ends up with 3 kills there and 5,300 damage. So that's a great game in a tier 9 medium in a tier 10 match. So let's go ahead and look at the after action report. Okay, here we are at the after action report. Looks like he spotted quite a well, 3 tanks, and damaged, spotted for damage for quite a few tanks, and then he hit a ton of tanks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When you hit 8 tanks, you're doing well, and of course he got a high caliber. And so he was top of the team by experience by over 300, and 5,350 damage, 3 kills, and ended up making, he has a premium account, made 49,000 credit, even though he fired a fair amount of gold rounds, but that's okay. So even without a premium account, he would have made 24,000 credits, so that's great. 31 shots, 23 hits, 15 pens. So it tells you that this tank does not have a very good gun. I mean, it's very good at snapshotting, but against higher tiers, and you when you're bouncing a third of your shots, that's and he had the rear of a lot of stuff. So anyway, nevertheless, it was a great game. That was a 2 times for him, so he ended up with 4100 XP out of that, which is fantastic out of his 1300. That's what, if he was grinding this tank, that would be fantastic. He's already got the tier 10, but that's what premium does for you. It gives you a lot of XP. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. If you didn't, then go ahead and hit the dislike button, and we will catch you on the next one.